Hi everyone, welcome to kiiff.com. I'm Zach. Let's talk about high-speed cloud web hosting. To begin our discussion on high-speed cloud web hosting, we're going to go back in time to 2010 and take a look at an article published on Google's webmaster blog titled Using Site Speed in Web Search Ranking. The beginning of the article talks about Google and Google's obsession with speed, and then it says we're including a new signal in our search ranking algorithms: site speed. Site speed reflects how quickly a website responds to web requests. It says speeding up websites is important, not just to site owners, but to all internet users. Faster sites create happy users, and we've seen in our internal studies that when a site responds slowly, visitors spend less time there. But faster sites don't just improve our user experience. Recent data shows that improving site speed also reduces operating costs. It says, like us, our users place a lot of value in speed. That's why we've decided to take site speed into account in our search rankings. It goes on to give you a variety of tools that you can use on your website to determine your site speed and test your site performance. Fast forward into 2018, and again on the Google Webmaster blog, we've got an article titled Using Page Speed in Mobile Search Ranking. Notice how we've switched from web search ranking back in 2010 to mobile search ranking. Taking a look at this article, it says people want to be able to find answers to their questions as fast as possible. Studies show that people really care about the speed of a page. Although speed has been used in ranking for some time, that signal was focused on desktop searches. And in fact, what this sentence is talking about here is that post that I just showed you back from 2010 when they changed the signaling for desktop. It says today we're announcing that starting in July 2018, page speed will be a ranking factor for mobile searches. And then we see up here that's been updated on July 9th, 2018. It says they're calling it the speed update is now rolling out for all users. So again, this article goes on, similar to the one back from 2010, gives you some tools that you can use to test your website speed. And if we look at an article published in February of 2018, we're looking at mobile page speed. So Google's had a consideration for site speed since 2010, and obviously in the last year or two there's been just an enormous spike in the amount of mobile traffic and the amount of people that are searching things on their phone than their desktop from back in 2010. So we take a look at this article here. It says find out how you stack up to new industry benchmarks for mobile page speed. Alright, and looking through the article, it's got some really good graphics here. It says as page load time goes from 1 to 3 seconds, the probability of a bounce increases 32%. 1 to 5, the bounce increases 90%. And to 6 seconds, the probability of a bounce increases 106%. For those of you who don't know what a bounce is when a visitor comes to your website and the only thing they see is the home page and then they just click away. So they probably click the back button. In this case, they would probably click onto your website. Maybe they saw it it came up organically in the search, clicked on your website, and unfortunately, since it was loading so slowly, they clicked the back button and found something else. So obviously these bounce rates are going exponentially higher here as time increases only by the second. So really, truly, seconds do matter. At the bottom, towards the bottom of the article here, it says no matter what, faster is better and less is more. So it talks about the overall size of the web pages. being 1 megabyte here, 2 megabytes, over 4 megabyte web pages. A lot of this has to do with many websites are using extremely large picture sizes. So some people have JPEG images and so forth that are upwards of 10 megabytes or even greater, and they might have more than one loading at a time on the page. So pictures play a huge role in the web page size. So looking just at the top of the article, it says, since we looked at mobile page speeds last year, the average time it takes to load a mobile landing page has dropped by 7 seconds. The bad news is that it still takes about 15 seconds, right? So an average of 15 seconds, and this is in 2018 here. So the article was updated with new data. It was originally published in 2017. 2018, we've got an average of 15 seconds for mobile websites. What I want to bring to your attention is another article here from LinkedIn. And this will really put it into perspective for you. Mobile web browsing overtakes desktop usage for the first time ever. It says global stats provider StatCounter has released a study which announced that mobile and tablet internet usage exceeds desktop for the first time worldwide. Obviously, mobile use has been trending upward since the advent of the smartphone, but it took until October of 2016 for global mobile and tablet internet usage to officially surpass desktop. So we've got 2010, we've got a blog post from Google that's indicating a new signal in their search, site speed, right? That's 8 years old now. Over time, as that search ranking factor has been in play, and due to announcements such as this one here, we can click into it here and actually see that worldwide we've got desktop at 48.7 and mobile and tablet at 51.3. In the UK and the US, desktop in 2016 anyways, they indicated that desktop was still predominant over mobile. However, at this time, I really wouldn't be surprised if mobile has passed desktop now in both the US and the UK. So Google takes that into mind. They come out with an article. This was the first one, right, in 2017, February 2017, talking about benchmarks for mobile page speed. Not really saying anything too threatening in terms of your search ranking for mobile. And then we get the blog post in earlier this year, or very beginning of this year, that mobile page speed is going to play a factor in mobile search ranking. And it does matter, your website, and it does load differently on a mobile device than it does on a desktop. We've got 4G LTE is with maybe 5G coming soon here, but many smartphones and tablet devices are still on even 3G. So we've got slower internet that is loading up these pages, and we've got a whole new way of coming at what is called responsive websites. So websites that also fit the screen that you're looking at them on. So we've got a number of factors here that are indicating very clearly that site speed, both mobile and desktop, play a factor in your SEO rating, and it affects how you come up in the search. So now that I've got your attention with that, and you now know why you should care about site speed, the topic of this video is high-speed cloud web hosting. So let's get into that, and let me show you some high-speed cloud web hosting. I'm going to talk about kiiff.com and our web hosting packages and the features that we offer for high-speed cloud web hosting that set us apart from nearly all competitors in the industry to make your website as fast as possible so you can rank higher in the search. The first thing to understand is that many of the large brands out there that absorb most of the market GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, they have Apache. They have web servers running Apache, the Apache framework. So they have got, and they also have MySQL databases. So we've got web servers with Apache framework and MySQL databases. Apache's been around for 20 years or more. It's open source. It's very tried and true, but it's not the fastest thing out there, and it's quickly being overtaken by something called Lightspeed. Here at kiiff.com, we have Lightspeed web servers versus Apache web servers. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about that for just a minute here and show you the difference between a Lightspeed web server like we have at kiiff.com and an Apache server that you would get at Bluehost, HostGator, GoDaddy, or nearly any other web host out there. So I'm on Lightspeed's website, and I just clicked into their benchmarking page here. They've got a number of different benchmarks they've run, including Magento, WordPress, Joomla, and a small static file benchmark. But most websites that are hosted through cloud web hosting are WordPress. Much larger than that, very high traffic websites, you get into VPSs and dedicated servers themselves. So we're going to take a look at the WordPress benchmark. Alright, we've got two different graphs here. We've got without Keep Alive connections and with Keep Alive connections. And transactions per second on the y-axis and users on the bottom. So looking at the colors and the legends here, Apache's in the red. That's pretty much the slowest on both of them. That's the Apache web server with WordPress Rocket. Then the purple Apache plus W3TC, and it goes all the way from left to right. The highest on the graph, handling the most transactions per second, is the Lightspeed web server with the Lightspeed cache. I've made a video on how to install the Lightspeed cache on your WordPress website. So with your hosting through kiiff.com, you will get the bar on the right here. Whether it's the connections are without Keep Alive or with Keep Alive, that's just what they've done in their test environment. But yet that your website has the potential to be the very fastest here, just purely based on us having the Lightspeed web servers and you having the ability to install the Lightspeed cache for free and enable it on your WordPress website. The next thing I want to talk about, as I mentioned, that GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, and many of the other brands we all have databases, right? So all the web servers, we have web servers, which theirs are Apache and ours are Lightspeed, and then we've got databases. And WordPress, of course, uses databases to store things, nearly everything for WordPress in terms of blog posts. If you have WooCommerce, everything is going to be stored in a database. And the databases that we use at kiiff.com is MariaDB. The databases that our competitors use is MySQL. MariaDB came out with this white paper in just May of this year about MariaDB versus MySQL versus EnterpriseDB. These are the three most common open source databases out there, and it just goes through the differences between the different databases. And so we can scroll down. Talks about the vendor comparison. MariaDB is open source, so it certainly has some advantages in terms of development that other corporations and individuals can pitch in. Alright, so here's our product comparison. First thing, we talks about disaster recovery. MariaDB has point-in-time rollback. EnterpriseDB and MySQL do not. High availability. We've got that. All the features are the same between the three. Security. It says the security requirements for databases have increased. End-to-end encryption, authentication, authorization has been long considered the bare minimum. It is no longer enough. So it looks through external key management is only available with MariaDB. It has all the same features as Enterprise and MySQL and more. It's got auditing, data masking, and data obfuscation. Looking at the firewall, there are many more firewall features available with MariaDB over Enterprise DB and MySQL. Blacklist, frequency, and you can just sort of go down these functions that are available in the firewall. It's got better performance and stability, distributed storage, write optimized storage, bulk insert streams. All these things are available with MariaDB that are not available with Enterprise DB and MySQL. It's got some development schema, SQL functions, Oracle compatibility, and then it's got a conclusion there. So clearly, based on these features and the differences between these three databases, I would say that MariaDB is clearly the winner here. It has all the features that MySQL does and more. So again, MySQL is the software that is used for most web hosting companies, GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, and many other in the industry. We use MariaDB at kiiff.com. And finally, I'd like to talk about cloud web hosting. So what does it mean to have cloud web hosting? I've got an article here from Plesk, and it says cloud web hosting is an easy way for companies to make use of extensive computing resources without owning any equipment. With cloud hosting, clients can make use of as little resources or as much resources as they like. The scalability can result in a lot of cost savings as companies never pay for more than they use. Also, additional capacity is available whenever it is needed. Alright, so it talks about the two different types of clouds: public cloud, private cloud, dedicated servers compared to web hosting, compared to cloud web hosting, and then it's got some features and benefits. So let's take a look at these features and benefits of cloud web hosting. The first is that it's reliable, because when you're not using cloud web hosting, your hosting is on a single standalone server. And as it says here, that can be risky, as the entire website can fail if just one component of the server fails. Cloud services run in a virtualized state with redundancy arrangements that prevent a single point of failure from crashing a website. We've got equipment is physical secure. It can be difficult to manage security in an office. Protecting equipment from physical intrusion requires a lot of effort, whereas in the cloud there is no physical security issue, as cloud equipment is hosted in highly secure data centers, often in remote locations. It scales easily. This is a big feature at kiiff.com. We have many clients who start out with maybe the web hosting or the starter or business package and upgrade to the enterprise package as their hosting needs increase. And it's very simple to upgrade. It's instant and there's no downtime. So scales very easily. Pay as you use with cloud web hosting. This was what allows us to have a competitive price as GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, and the other brands. And then we got instant load balancing, which of course is a factor in increasing site speed. So cloud web hosting is definitely the solution for individuals and small businesses. Our main audience here at kiiff.com. And again, all of these features come standard at kiiff.com. This is just the way that we have set up our infrastructure for your advantage when you host with us. Some other things we've got. I'm going to do a video on this a little bit later, but we also have SSD RAID 10 storage and daily backups. So many features that cost extra on other web hosts, we offer those included for free. And the big one is an SSL certificate. If you go to GoDaddy.com and you want to purchase web hosting through them and you'd like an SSL certificate, then you're going to have to pay $75 a year on top of the cost for web hosting. So $75 a year for something that we give you for free, and it works just the same. Alright, that's it for high-speed cloud web hosting. Thanks for watching.